earned enormous respect.
It's a hot topic. For more, I'm joined by Northern Territory Labor Senator Malarndirri McCarthy and broadcaster and author Justin Smith. Morning to you both.
Morning.
Senator, how did you feel about this exchange yesterday?
Well, it's been interesting watching all of it, Nat. Seriously, I just think the country needs to recognise that Grace Tame is an amazing woman. And of course, she was going to have a difficult moment with the Prime Minister. But hey, who hasn't? Let's remember the bushfires when the Prime Minister tries to shake hands with a bushfire victim. There have been awkward moments with this Prime Minister on many occasions. And I'd just say to Grace Tame, thank you for your service to the people of Australia and for bringing awareness on the issues that impact women, in particular, in the Australian Parliament.
Yeah, Malarndirri, I know she's an incredible woman. She's opinionated. She has, her own thoughts about so many very important issues. But if you go and talk to the Prime Minister of the country, do you protest like that because it sounded like that's what she was doing? Or should you show respect or not?
Well, look, seriously, it's a question really that should be put to Grace Tame. There should be an opportunity for her to speak about it, should she wish to do so. Clearly, we don't know what happened outside of that photograph. We know, however, that there is concern with regards to the Prime Minister's leadership on so many things. But I would not be so harsh on Grace Tame. I'd certainly be asking the Prime Minister to think more about what the message was that she had for all Australians, in particular him.
Yeah, Justin, she's getting a lot of support, but she's also getting people saying, why go if you're going to do that?
Oh, yeah, they're saying that. I tell you what, they're saying a lot nastier than that. I was absolutely shocked at some of the things that have been said about her, including one commentator who described her as having bad breeding, which I just thought was appalling, and describing her as trash. And it's not like Pauline Hanson to go around scowling at people. I'd say this, I support her 100%, and the reason is this. For decades, for centuries, politicians have been using other people for photo opportunities. Now, they do that and I say this with the greatest of love and respect to our senator who's with us, but they've been shaking hands and doing photo opportunities with people, but they do it at their own peril. Now, Grace Tame is an activist and a professional stirrer, and I say that as a compliment, as a stirrer myself. She knew that if she turned up and just smiled, that she wouldn't get across the message that she wanted to. And if a politician wants to do a photo op with somebody and it goes wrong, then it's on them, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, she certainly made her point yesterday, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, here, Justin.
Yeah. Look, on to something else controversial. Leading Indigenous academic Marsha Langton says there are more pressing issues facing Aboriginal Australians, but eventually she and other Indigenous leaders would like to see the date changed. Senator, it's a big one. We talk about this in the lead up to every Australia Day. What do you think? Should the date be changed?
Oh, Nat, I've spoken about this on many occasions over the years. I've always believed it's actually about a change of attitude more than a change of date. I think the issues that we face as a country are so great that we should need to focus on those. I mean, look at what's happening to us now in regards to the COVID. For us up here in the Northern Territory, we are in a very dire situation, I should say, in terms of our communities and trying to survive and get through the COVID pandemic. It has hit us really hard, as I'm sure it has millions of Australians around the country. But I want to just also add, Nat, you know, when I think about this day on a very personal level, you know, my father's side of the family came from Ireland in 1842 on one of the fleets then as a free man. He was certainly not a convict, and he came with hope for the future here in an unknown land. And on my mother's side, as a Yanyuwa Gadigal woman, I'm enormously proud of the fact that we fought hard for land rights. And so for me personally, it's about getting up early in the mornings, you know, and I ask Australians, you know, wake early with the sun, reflect on the atrocities of the early days of our country. And that still exists with the high incarceration rates and deaths in custody. But for now, our country needs to be united more than ever, not divided.
But Malarndirri, it feels like we can't celebrate this day like a lot of people used to, because it hurts so many people. It is labelled Invasion Day, and it hurts so many people to the soul. So what are we going to do about it? Do we protest every lead up to Australia Day, or do we change the date and make a lot of people happier? As an Indigenous woman, what do you think?
Oh, no, that's a really important question. I would say to Australians watching, to First Nations people, that one of the wonderful things about our country is that we are a democracy and we have the right to express our views, but let's do it in a really respectful way. Now, what I do when I get up on Australia Day or Survival Day or Invasion Day, whatever you wish to call it, on January 26th, I get up with the sun. I might go to a fun run. I'll then go to the Australian citizenship ceremony. Then I might go to the Survival March. And then I'll go to the World Refugee Soccer match that's on. And then I'll come home with my family. So I'd say to all Australians, whatever you do today, be respectful and keep in mind that we all belong to this country.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And acknowledge, you know, both sides of this. Justin, what's your view?
Oh, look, and I love the writing that Malarndirri has done on this. I think she's been a real leader on it. Look, for me, I'd love to see us change the date, because I think it's about respect, and I think the fact that we keep that date, and some people have been fighting so hard to keep this date, and I think they've even forgotten why they want to keep this date, that I think it just shows a real lack of respect and a lack of understanding for our history. So I would like to see us change it, but I agree with Malarndirri that the biggest thing is the attitudes, and there actually are bigger things to fix than just the date itself, and as long as we're addressing that as well.
Yeah. Finally, tennis champ Dylan Alcott has become the first Australian of the Year recipient with a disability to be awarded the honour in 62 years. Senator, first of all, it's surprising that that's a stat, and how great is this man?
Oh, isn't Dylan awesome? Just have been watching him with the Australian Open, but also he's inspiring. I have a son who's also a wheelchair basketball athlete, and I work with him and his teammates, and I know that Dylan inspires them, and I'm just so proud to see him up there. So I just think, you know, good on you, Dylan, and beautiful speech last night, Nat. Like, how good was that to acknowledge the health workers, the clinicians, everyone on the front line, the fireys. You know, well done, Dylan. You deserve this, and look forward to seeing you up here in the Northern Territory.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure he will. He's such a brilliant guy. We're going to talk to him soon. Justin?
Oh, isn't he a cracker? And I think that speech is one of the best speeches I've ever seen in this country, probably anywhere. That's the kind of speech that saves people. Good on him. Long may he reign. Yep,
he's so honest. Congratulations to him. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Nat.
Here's Cotty.